Well, hello world. This is my new but second-hand marine tank I'm just setting up. Only small in size. It was a compromise between me and my wife. I wanted a nice big one. She didn't want one. We've had one before, but we had nothing but trouble with it. We had dead fish. We had salt leaching everywhere. It was a disaster, and I put that down to an experience. Just didn't know what we're doing. So this one's about 180 litres. It's 3 foot by 1.5 by 1.5. Tried to do everything cheap. Basically, I got the tank, 2 power heads, a heater, and a protein skimmer, gravel, and some ornaments for $70. Also came with a table, which I just threw away. Basically, the heater wasn't working, so I didn't worry about that. The power heads are working beautifully. The gravel I didn't need because I had a freshwater tank set up. And the ornaments I'm not bothering with either. I think they're too gimmicky. So yeah, the protein skimmer was worth about $400, and it's beautiful, works a charm. And the power head's beautiful as well. I built the cabinet myself, around about $80 in value. Materials, that is. Not the prettiest thing around. But does the job. I built my own PVC overflow. You might be able to see it there. Again, not real pretty, but cheaper. I got a quote on a sump and a weir to be done. It was about $350 for the sump, about $100 worth of bio balls, and about $200 to build a weir and drill a hole in the tank. I decided to go with PVC overflow because it's a lot cheaper to begin with. And if I ever decide to sell a tank, who'd want a tank with a hole in the bottom? Not me, that's for sure. So the PVC overflow, I was a little bit coy on how well it would work, but it works brilliantly and cheap. It makes a bit of noise, but what I've done is I've got a cap. I just drill a hole in it, just like a silencer for a gun. Whisper silent. The trick to your overflow is getting that T-piece in the right spot. You want to, when the water drops below the top of your overflow, you want it to not siphon out. If you make one, you'll know you start it up and it will siphon out. You don't want to siphon out, you just want it to overflow and stop. Going pretty well at the moment. Most expensive part of it so far has been the live rock, but you need it for good filtration. Right, going underneath, I even built my own filtration system. Got it from a idea from another guy on a YouTube channel here. I'll put his link in the video description. Basically just a little tub and some plastic storage drawers. I got some cheap pot scrubbers in there, worked brilliantly. A cheap $2 pillow for my filter wool, saved myself about $20 for the filter wool. The protein skimmer is working brilliantly. It needs to be cleaned out right now. As you can see, all working really well under there. At the moment I've got 2 blue-green crabies and 1 mandarin goby at the moment, and they're doing quite well. I used a product called by Seedchem called Stability, and it's cycled tank in just over 2 weeks completely, and I'd highly recommend it to anyone who wants to start a tank up. Just follow the instructions, you can't go wrong. I've done my own lighting as well. Just bought some LED tape. It was $15 delivered, and I set it up to a 12 volt transformer. You can see the reflection on the acrylic on top. Those 2 things are just my fish feed because I've got a 2-year-old that likes to sprinkle it on the floor. And for $15, it's just a natural light, and it lights the tank up pretty well, as you have seen. I will be putting extra lights in, but at a date to be decided. I'm looking also at getting a chiller. I was going to build my own chiller. We've had temperatures get already inside the tank get to about 29 degrees, a little bit too hot. I'd like to get some coral, make it a reef tank, but I need to maintain the temperature. I was going to get an old refrigerator, little bar fridge or dorm fridge, and make it with some pipe that way, but I've decided to actually buy a chiller so that way I can store it underneath the tank. Anyway, that's my tank at the moment. I'll keep you guys up to date as things progress. Thank you.